Welcome to our podcast series on America's westward expansion. Today, we'll be discussing one of the most significant events in American history, the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad and the role of the competing rail lines in shaping the nation. As the United States expanded its territory and asserted its claim to the land, it became clear that a reliable transportation system was needed to connect the east and west coasts. In 1862, Congress passed the Pacific Railroad Act, which authorized the construction of a transcontinental railroad. The act provided funding and land grants to two companies: the Union Pacific Railroad, which would build west from Omaha, Nebraska, and the Central Pacific Railroad, which would build east from Sacramento, California. The construction of the Transcontinental Railroad was a monumental task that required the labor of thousands of workers, including Chinese immigrants, African Americans, and Irish immigrants. The working conditions were harsh, with workers facing extreme weather conditions, diseases, and accidents. Despite these challenges, the workers persevered, and on May 10, 1869, the two rail lines met at Promontory Summit, Utah, marking the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad. One notable example of the significance of the Transcontinental Railroad is the story of Leland Stanford, a California businessman who played a key role in the construction of the Central Pacific Railroad. Stanford's leadership and vision helped to overcome the numerous challenges faced by the company, including treacherous terrain, funding shortfalls, and labor disputes. His efforts ultimately paid off, as the Transcontinental Railroad revolutionized transportation and commerce in the United States. The competing rail lines also played a significant role in shaping the nation. The Union Pacific Railroad and the Central Pacific Railroad competed fiercely for customers and territory, leading to the development of new towns and cities along the rail lines. The railroads also facilitated the growth of industries such as agriculture, mining, and trade, which helped to drive economic growth and development in the United States. In addition to its economic impact, the Transcontinental Railroad also had a profound social and cultural impact on the nation. The railroad brought people from different parts of the country together, facilitating the exchange of ideas, cultures, and values. It also played a significant role in the development of the American identity, as people from different backgrounds and ethnicities came together to build a new nation. The construction of the Transcontinental Railroad was not without its challenges, however. The project faced numerous delays, funding shortfalls, and engineering challenges, including the construction of bridges, tunnels, and trestles. Despite these challenges, the workers persevered, using innovative techniques and technologies to overcome the obstacles. One notable example of the ingenuity and determination of the workers is the story of the Big Fill near Sacramento, California. The Big Fill was a massive earthwork project that required the movement of millions of cubic yards of dirt and rock to create a stable foundation for the railroad. The workers used a combination of manual labor, animal power, and early machinery to complete the project, which took several months to finish. As we explore the history of the Transcontinental Railroad, it's essential to acknowledge the complex and often fraught relationship between European Americans and Native American tribes. The construction of the railroad had a devastating impact on many Native American communities, who were forcibly removed from their lands and relocated to reservations. This legacy of violence and dispossession continues to have an impact on Native American communities today. In conclusion, the Transcontinental Railroad was a pivotal moment in American history, marking the beginning of a new era of expansion and growth for the United States. From its role in shaping the nation's transportation system to its impact on the economy, society, and culture, the railroad played a significant part in the growth and development of the nation. As we continue our journey through the annals of time, we'll explore more stories of bravery, determination, and resilience, and examine the complex and often fraught history of American expansion. That's all for today. Join us next time on our podcast series as we continue to explore the fascinating story of America's westward expansion.